The massive AGT Champions Arena vibrates with excitement as thousands of fans wave glow sticks and chant in anticipation. Camera cranes sweep across the crowd, capturing banners that read, "We love Marcelito." And, the voice of two angels. Backstage, away from the roaring energy, Marcelito Pomoy stands in a quiet corner, hands pressed together, eyes closed. He breathes deeply, steadying himself. Despite years of performing on global stages, this moment feels different, bigger, almost like the first time all over again. A stage assistant rushes past, but another stops beside him with a headset. "Marcelito, you're up next," she says gently, sensing the emotion in his eyes. He nods with a calm smile. His wife, Joan, steps forward and takes his hands. "You've got this." Like always, her voice is soft but steady, and her presence grounds him. They share one last look: support, love, belief. The doors to the stage open, and a blast of cold air and dazzling light hits him. As he walks down the narrow passage, the noise intensifies. The announcer's voice booms. "Please welcome, Marcelito Pomoy." The crowd erupts. Marcelito steps into the spotlight, and for a moment, everything slows. Simon Cowell sits upright, arms crossed but eyes sharp, assessing. Heidi beams with excitement. Howie leans forward, curious. The stage is silent except for the soft opening notes of "The Prayer." Marcelito closes his eyes and begins. His female register voice flows out, pure, angelic, flawless. A collective gasp sweeps the audience. Phones rise. Judges freeze. Then, seamlessly, he shifts into the deep male voice, rich and powerful. The audience cannot believe what they are hearing. It feels impossible. The moment Marcelito transitions from his soaring female register to his deep, resonant male voice, a visible wave of shock ripples through the arena. It happens so smoothly, so flawlessly, that the audience actually hesitates, unsure if they heard correctly. A woman in the second row covers her mouth. A teenager recording on his phone whispers, "No way, that's the same person." On the judges' panel, confusion mixes with awe. Heidi leans forward, eyes wide with sparkling admiration. "Unbelievable," she mutters under her breath. A camera zooms in on Howie Mandel, whose eyebrows shoot up as he tilts his head, trying to figure out the mechanics of what he just heard. But the most telling reaction comes from Simon Cowell. Simon's arms slowly uncross. He squints at the stage, leaning closer as if that will help him decode Marcelito's dual voice. He whispers to the judge beside him, "Is this really one person? Are we sure?" His disbelief is genuine, rare, and almost childlike. Backstage, Terry Crews watches the monitor with his mouth open. "That's insane," he says to a crew member, shaking his head. "He's doing both parts, perfectly." Marcelito continues seamlessly, gliding back into the female register with heavenly precision. The arena grows quieter, not because the energy dips, but because the audience is too stunned to even breathe. His ability to switch voices feels supernatural. As he hits a delicate high note, someone in the balcony shouts, "Oh my God." It echoes through the room. Phones everywhere capture the moment, comments already popping up on live streams. "Is this real? Two voices in one body? Legend." The confusion on the judges' faces slowly shifts to admiration, and then to pure, unfiltered awe. As Marcelito continues his breathtaking performance, something extraordinary begins to happen, something even AGT veterans rarely witness. The atmosphere inside the arena grows electric, charged with emotion. His dual voices blend in impossible harmony, creating a sound so powerful that the audience can feel it in their chests. About halfway through the song, Marcelito shifts into a soaring high note in his female register, gentle yet commanding. The purity of the note is like a spark, one that ignites the entire room. A man in the front row stands up first, hands clutching his heart. Then a woman beside him rises. Then another, and another. Within seconds, entire sections of the audience are on their feet. But the unbelievable part, Marcelito is still singing. He opens his eyes, surprised to see people rising before he has even reached the climax. Instead of distracting him, it fuels him. His male voice returns, deep, powerful, resonant. The contrast is so smooth, so flawless, that goosebumps ripple through the room. Up at the judges' table, Heidi jumps up, overcome with emotion. "Yes, yes," she shouts, her voice cracking. Howie follows, clapping in disbelief. A camera swings to Simon, usually the last to stand, but this time he rises slowly, compelled by the magnitude of what he is witnessing. His eyes glisten, not with tears, but with a rare, humbled admiration. The entire arena is standing now. People wave their arms, some cry openly, some simply stare in awe. A wave of sound, cheers, gasps, applause, builds beneath Marcelito's voice, but he remains focused, delivering each note with passion and precision. As the music swells toward the final chorus, it becomes clear. They are not just listening, they are honoring him. As Marcelito lands the final, impossibly perfect note, the arena plunges into a moment of absolute stillness, like the world itself is holding its breath. For a full second, no one moves. No one speaks. Even Marcelito stands frozen, chest rising and falling, eyes lowered in humility. Then, boom, a roaring explosion of applause shakes the entire venue. People scream, some jump, others cry. It's chaos, but the beautiful kind, the kind that only follows a once-in-a-generation performance. The judges rise to their feet instantly, but the camera zooms in on Simon Cowell. He doesn't stand quickly, he stands slowly, like someone realizing they have just witnessed something they may never see again. His mouth hangs open slightly. His eyebrows are raised. He shakes his head in disbelief, almost laughing at how stunned he is. He claps, slow at first, then stronger, louder. Marcelito looks up and sees Simon standing for him, and emotion floods his face. His hands tremble as he places them over his heart. When the applause finally softens, Terry Crews calls out from backstage, "Wow, wow." His voice echoes through the speakers. Heidi places a hand over her chest. Marcelito, that was perfection. But the moment everyone waits for is Simon's. He leans into the microphone, still shaking his head. Marcelito, he pauses, lost for words, a very rare sight. I don't think you understand how incredible you are. I genuinely don't. You are one of the most unbelievable singers we've ever had on this stage. Ever. The audience erupts again. You have a gift, Simon continues, voice soft but sincere. Not just a voice, a miracle of talent. As the final echoes of the applause fade, the arena lights dim, and a massive screen behind Marcelito flickers to life. The AGT Champions audience grows quiet, leaning forward instinctively. What follows is not just a montage, it is a story written in struggle, hope, and destiny. Soft music begins to play as images appear. A young Marcelito in the Philippines, singing barefoot outside a small house. His humble smile as he performs on the streets with nothing but raw talent and a dream. Clips of him discovering his rare ability to sing in both male and female voices, first as a curiosity, then as a miracle that shocked everyone who heard him. The crowd watches his transformation, from the boy who sang at local events for spare coins, to the man who took the Pilipinas Got Talent stage and stunned millions. Then footage of his first AGT appearance appears, the iconic moment when Simon Cowell leaned forward, disbelief written all over his face. Now, standing in the spotlight once again, Marcelito watches his own journey unfold behind him. His eyes glisten with emotion. He never imagined that a boy from poverty, a boy who taught himself to sing, would one day be standing at the center of one of the biggest stages in the world. Terry Crews steps forward as the montage ends. Ladies and gentlemen, he announces, voice booming with pride, tonight we witnessed something more than talent. We witnessed history. A true champion, Marcelito Pomoy. The crowd erupts again, louder than before. Confetti begins to fall, silver, gold, and shimmering like stars. Marcelito looks upward, letting the glittering pieces land on his face as he takes in the moment. His wife Joan joins him on stage, embracing him tightly.